Welcome to this explainer. Look down at the floor for just a second. We spend our entire lives walking around our homes absolutely trusting that the solid ground beneath us is, well, completely solid. But there is a silent and honestly often devastating threat that can literally undermine the very foundation of your house, and it does all of this completely out of sight. Today, we're taking a close look at a massive plumbing failure that could be happening right under your feet, tearing away at your home while you just go about your day completely unaware.
So, what actually happens when your home's plumbing fails underground? It's kind of terrifying to think about, right? Just imagine the hidden chaos down there. You've got water escaping at high pressure, completely trapped beneath your thick concrete foundation. Because you can't see it, this destructive water can pool, it can travel, and it silently erodes the earth right beneath your home for weeks or even months, totally unobserved. And man, by the time you actually realize something is wrong, the damage is already well underway.
Okay, let's dive into this. To properly diagnose this disease, we really need to understand exactly what we're dealing with. A slab leak is formally defined as a plumbing failure that occurs beneath a home's concrete foundation. Listen, this isn't just a dripping faucet or a leaky pipe behind your basement drywall. It is a critical major failure trapped under a massive slab of concrete, which makes getting to it and even just knowing it's there in the first place incredibly difficult.
Now you might be wondering, how in the world does a pipe perfectly encased in or beneath solid concrete just break? Well, there are a few common culprits we see all the time. You've got aging water supply lines and plumbing installation issues, which are fairly straightforward. But what's really interesting and a bit scary are the silent catalysts here: shifting soil and pipe corrosion. Over time, the earth beneath your house naturally shifts and settles, and that puts immense pressure on those rigid pipes. You combine that pressure with natural corrosion just eating away at the metal, and suddenly, it just gives out.
Section 1. Spotting the warning signs. Diagnosing your home's hidden symptoms.
All right, since we can't actually see the pipes, we have to put on our detective hats and look for the clues the house is giving us. And the very first, most glaring clue? It usually hits your wallet. Have you noticed your water bills skyrocketing lately, even though you haven't been taking longer showers or, running the sprinklers more often? If your daily routine hasn't changed, but your usage is suddenly spiking, well, that water is going somewhere. It's almost like having a ghost running the taps all month long, except you're the one left footing a very real, very expensive utility bill. This is frequently the absolute first indicator of a hidden leak.
Now, if that leak goes unnoticed, the water will eventually start trying to find a way out. And this brings us to our next major symptom, dampness or dark patches. Because the water is trapped under that heavy slab and the surrounding materials, it will slowly wick its way upward. You probably won't see a big puddle right away. Instead, these dark, damp areas just kind of slowly appear, creeping across your floors or bubbling up near your exterior walls. It's really just the water's way of finally making itself visible.
Okay, now here is a particularly strange symptom. Have you ever been walking barefoot across your kitchen or living room and suddenly felt a mysterious warm spot radiating from the floorboards? It's weird, right? Well, this brilliantly illustrates a very specific type of problem. It often means the leak is coming directly from your hot water supply lines. That hot water is pooling under the concrete right in that specific spot, basically acting like a totally unintended, very destructive floor heater.
And the symptoms don't stop there. We also have secondary symptoms to watch for. You might experience low or irregular water pressure in your showers and sinks because the whole system's flow has been completely disrupted. But perhaps the most insidious sign of all is the smell. If you notice a persistent musty odor or signs of mold and mildew, especially in enclosed or poorly ventilated rooms, you need to pay attention. If you scrub a room completely clean and that musty smell is still there a day later, that means moisture is trapped where you can't easily see it.
Section 2. The urgent ripple effect. The hidden cost of waiting.
I really want to dial up the urgency here, because these symptoms we just covered, they aren't just minor annoyances. Leaving a slab leak untreated rapidly escalates into a full-blown crisis for your property. Let's break down the true costs of ignoring this problem. On one hand, you have the financial risks. You're looking at constantly mounting utility bills from the ongoing water loss, the absolute inevitability of expensive flooring replacement because the water is ruining your home from the bottom up, and potential drainage remediation. But on the other hand, even more severe are the health and structural risks. We are talking about compromised soil, a cracked foundation, and toxic mold.
I want to really emphasize this structural point. When water is endlessly pumped out beneath your home, it doesn't just sit there. It literally washes away and weakens the very soil that is holding your entire house up. Just let that sink in for a second. The heavy concrete foundation loses its support, and as it settles into that wet, hollowed-out earth, it starts to severely crack. A simple plumbing problem has now become a massive, catastrophic structural failure.
And structurally, your home isn't the only thing suffering here. Your family is too. That constant trapped dampness keeps all the nearby surfaces wet, which vastly increases the risk of mold. And this isn't just an ugly cosmetic issue. This severely impacts your indoor air quality. For anyone in your home with allergies, asthma, or respiratory sensitivities, this hidden mold becomes a daily, unavoidable hazard to their health. This is exactly why addressing this threat matters so deeply.
Section 3. Your immediate next steps. The treatment plan. If you are sitting there right now checking off the symptoms we just discussed, do not panic, but it is time to take calculated, immediate action. So the crucial point is, stop guessing and start documenting everything. Write down exactly when you first noticed the change in your water bills. Take photos of the damp spots. Note when you first felt that warm patch on the floor, and track the odors or pressure fluctuations. Accurately locating a slab leak is incredibly difficult, and this timeline you build is going to be absolutely vital for the professionals.
Now, I want you to follow this specific 4-step plan. Step 1, check your water meter for unusual movement. Go turn off all the taps in the house, make sure absolutely nothing is running, and look at the meter. If that dial is still moving, you have confirmed a leak. Step 2, continually look for those visible indicators we discussed, like moisture and staining. Step 3, contact a licensed plumber who specializes in slab leak detection. And finally, step 4, prevent further damage immediately by limiting your water use as much as possible until help actually arrives.
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. If the pipe is under the concrete, are they going to bring jackhammers into my living room? Thankfully, no. Detection today involves specialized equipment specifically designed to find the exact location and depth of the leak without any unnecessary demolition. A licensed professional will use these high-tech tools to confirm the leak and then recommend the absolute safest repair approach based on your specific pipe material and the extent of the damage. You really don't have to tear your whole house apart just to find the problem.
We've seen how a small, hidden leak can silently erode the soil, crack the foundation, and threaten the very air you breathe. Time is absolutely of the essence when dealing with this invisible threat. Early intervention keeps repairs manageable and literally saves the foundation of your home. So I'm going to leave you with this question to ask yourself tonight. If early intervention is the only thing standing between your home and a structural disaster, will you recognize the signs in time? Keep your eyes open and please don't ignore what your house is trying to tell you. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.